If Alt Talk and Elder Emos is so popular right now, then I'm wondering where the fuck everyone was when I was 15 and trying to make friends. I was obsessed with bands like Fall Out Boy, Avenged Sevenfold, Trivium, and Rise Against. What's up? My name's Alex Majewski, also known as JSky. In this video, I'm going to be talking about 2005 alternative music. Probably the most influential music since 98-99 that I could think of. Today, we're seeing artists replicate a lot of these genres, styles, and fashion, and just the way people are moving within the industry. Emo and post-hardcore was first gaining mainstream success around this time. So was it that these bands were too new to show up as a significant influence in my high school campus? Or was it that they were too mainstream for the punk kids and the metalheads to like? So for anyone who's attended emo night in the past 6 or 7 years, what the fuck? Absent answers will be graded. This is a pass fail and you all are fucked. On MTV, we had shows like Viva La Band, The Osbournes, Meet the Barkers, Until Death Do Us Part. Shows like these were so cool, but often starring artists who gained fame in the 80s and 90s. So besides a handful of kids like me scattered throughout the cafeteria, was their target audience then 20, 30-year-olds? This is how I remember it. Metal kids were so close-minded, gatekeeping, your music isn't disgusting and heavy enough, too whiny, too emo, too screamo. The pop punk kids, the Blink-182 ones, Green Day dudes, they could barely play their instruments, but at least they had girlfriends. With the exception of my old homie Scott McRae, rest in peace brother, such a nasty drummer. He asked me to join his band, but then I had to move back to New York that summer. Fucking sucked. 2005 was just one of those years. For me, I would go out on a limb and say it was the most influential year in music since 98-99, at least for music that is out today. I was a freshman in high school at this time, fighting fashion, more importantly my hair, which I lost the battle. I was an emo before there was really any to hang out with. This is when Under the Cork Tree blew up, Rise Against had the Swing Life Away ballad, and Avenged Sevenfold was melting every 15-year-old guitar player's face off. With songs like Backcountry and Beast in the Harlot, I would find artists like these constantly crossing over from Headbangers Ball to MTV2 and TRL. I remember scouting kids wearing metal t-shirts with long hair, asking if they played guitar, and more times than not, they usually would, and they were pretty good. Well, at least at playing leads, stiff rhythm boys. I grew up in a predominantly Spanish neighborhood, so everyone listened to rap music or Spanish dance music, reggaeton. That was cool, but as I was growing up and finding myself, I fell more and more madly in love with all styles of alternative music. Heavy, emo, fast, whatever, dude. We could break alt music into like 3 categories with some overlap, of course. Underground nerds like Fall Out Boy and My Chemical Romance. They'd wear stripes, skinny jeans, and often fanboy Nightmare Before Christmas. Don't forget beanies, accessories not included. Butt rock, white trashcore like Crossfade, Papa Roach, Seether. Then double white trashcore like Lamb of God, Trivium, Avenged Sevenfold, maybe Bullet for My Valentine. The preppy, clean-cut, cool kids, often you would find wearing like Hollister and American Eagle. They'd be listening to like All American Rejects, The Killers, Teddy Geiger, Ryan Cabrera. You could maybe even fit in like Yellowcard into this category. With huge shows that were on MTV like Laguna Beach. I was a huge fan of this show. I probably watched it 752 times and I own it on DVD. Just outing myself here, but I was really obsessed with this show. You would see the cast go to like Blink-182 concerts in season 1 or 2. All this music was popular on TV and radio in some kind of way. But when did it become okay for groups of people to identify as the genre, like being emo or pop punk? In the same way the metal kids did. I had an ex in my 20s who was a few years younger than me, and her experience, she grew up going to Warped Tour, had a brand new and Bring Me to the Horizon tattoo, so maybe it happened like 3 or 4 years later, or maybe it was just because she grew up in Brooklyn, not South Florida, and it was just a geographical kind of thing. When I would play Battle of the Bands a little bit north of Florida, I would see a lot of death metal dudes and underground shit and punk and all kinds of stuff, but that was more of like an older crowd and definitely underground and not what was happening when I was 15 with the other kids my age. So much of the music that's out now, like Machine Gun Kelly, Olivia Rodrigo, Nothing Nowhere, Mod Sun, they're heavily influenced by 2005 alternative music. Bands like Under Oath, Blink-182, and Paramore. Wake Me Up When September Ends, Beverly Hills. My favorite was Perfect Situation, Slipknot's Before I Forget, Foo Fighters' Best of You, Papa Roach, Scars, Mr. Brightside by The Killers, Crossfade song Cold, Dance Dance, Sugar We're Going Down Swinging by Fall Out Boy, Mudvayne, Happy, Korn, Twisted Transistor, Hinder, Get Stoned, LOL, Lifehouse, You and Me, Yellow Card, Lights and Sound, Ocean Avenue, Panic at the Discos, I Write Sins Not Tragedy, The All-American Rejects, Move Along, Swing Swing, The Academy Is, had songs like Slow Down and a laundry list of other dope ones, Paramore, All We Know, Here We Go Again, Cartel, Honestly. They did so well with their first record that MTV gave them like Abandon a Bubble show that was like a bubble that was in the middle of Times Square where they had to stay locked in there, write and record the whole second album, and it was a complete flop. That band completely fell off the face of the earth after that. I was super bummed out. I was a huge fan of the singer. I think his name was William Pugh. Dope music, great songwriters, but with the opportunity to be like a huge sensation, blow up artist, they totally fucked that up. Bummer. My Chemical Romance, Helena, even though that came out in 2004, it was such a big song that video was being played the entire year of 2005. 2006, Make Damn Sure, also another band that had a lot of songs playing during 2005. It probably was that same year of school for me. It just came out after the new year in 2006. Juicy Tracksuits, Trucker Hats, Hollister, Proactive Solutions, sponsored by P. Diddy, silicone cause bracelets, and maybe a layered polo shirt, beanie not included. MTV had so many classic shows that I was obsessed with. Shows like Laguna Beach with Lauren Conrad, Stefan, Christina Cavallari, Meet the Barkers with Travis Barker, Till Death Do Us Part with Carmen Electra and Dave Navarro from fucking Ink Master, The Osbournes, Ashley Simpson, Newlyweds. The height of Viva La Bam and the Heartograms was all over the place. For any kid who'd go to Hot Topic and then get lost in Spencer's Gifts at the mall, Viva La Bam was your idol. Growing up loving BMX, skating, and fruit booting, Jackass, and early 90s culture was very much what I looked up to. Bam embodied the new wave of just that. So really what I'm trying to get at is that 2005 was such an influential year. Not only was it the year that I was a freshman in high school, but there were so many classic songs that stemmed from that time period and we're still being influenced by many of them today. You could see it in popular music that's dropping every single day on Spotify. My name's Alexander Majewski, also known as J Sky. Once again, I appreciate each and every one of you for checking out the video and showing support. If there's a song or an artist or a show or anything from that time period, drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear what you guys think. I appreciate the support. Thank you so much. Follow me on IG and I'll see you next week. Peace.